Welcome to Absolutely Obsolete, and today I have a new video for you. But obviously, you already know that, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. Today's video is focused on the Pac-Man Split Pad Pro Edition. Yes, this is a brilliant little device. It works only on the gamepad, so only on here. It doesn't work as a kind of pro controller. It doesn't work that way, I'm afraid. But if you're into handheld and that's what you want to do, and these little buggers are too small for your hands, because I've got quite big hands, so they're pretty too big for me, really. My hands, these buttons are tiny, like the tiny buttons. But as you can see, the difference is quite big. Look at that. Large chunky buttons, your triggers as well. Your triggers are chunky, and your stick is quite big as well. Pardon the pun. Yes. As I'm sure you can see, it's got two extra buttons here. And here we have an assign, so you can assign any button you want to another kind of button, or you can assign turbo. So if you're into kind of like shooters, then you can assign a button and just press it once and hold it, like the old game pads of old, and let the pad do the work for you. Let's have a little zip. Now I've been away a while, as I'm sure you know. On my last video, I think I mentioned, obviously I've got a little babs now, so it's been very hard and very crazy for me to try and get anything done. So I just wanted to do a quick little video based on a cool controller. And as you can see, here's the box, and here's the information regarding that. Full-size shoulder buttons, precision D-pad. Yeah, that's one reason I brought this, because I love my platformers, so playing things like Sonic Mania is perfect on this little D-pad. But another reason I got it was because my hands, as I said before, are pretty big meat hands, tall hands, long hands, and I was getting a bit of a cramp. Now, one way I tested this, because I know how important it is to have a precision pad, so I tested it by playing Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Revelations 1 and Revelations 2. So I've completed all three games on this controller, and I had to say it was really good, a really nice experience. I did notice, I'm not sure if it was just Resident Evil 4, that was the game I started first, that this, if I just moved it ever so slightly to the left, I'd have to move it a tiny bit more to get any movement. Now, I'm not sure if I got used to that, or if it was just that game. And if it was just that game, then that's fine. But I got used to aiming, shooting people in the head quite a lot, and that's something you really have to do in Resident Evil 4. A lot of headshots saves you a lot of ammo. Anyway, I will stop blathering on, and I'll show you a little bit of gameplay with these two little beasts connected. So just give me 1 second. Right, here we are with Resident Evil 4, the first game we shall test. Now let's just go on something quick. Let's see. Extras. The mercenaries. Let's try that. And let's see what happens. Right, I think I was going to mention the issue with the right analog stick. Now if you look, well, here we are, we're aiming. And look, if you move it, it's not really moving much, so you really have to put some pressure on here. Now here we really have to put some pressure on here to kind of get an idea. Well, I'm not sure if it's a game or if it's actually the controller, but we'll test another Resident Evil game just to be sure. So here we are, Resident Evil Revelations 2. Now let's see if it still has that issue. Now if I move the stick, yeah, you've really got to push it. I know that's not something I noticed before when I was looking at reviews for this myself. But you do get used to it compared to the Pro. Now you can actually connect both at the same time, so let's see what happens if I even touch it a little bit. Or yeah, if you notice, look, I barely. I might have to. Let's just try and move the body. Right, if I move the body slightly to the. Yeah, this is a better stick in terms of movement. The dead zone is bang on, as you would expect with Nintendo, really. But saying that, the comfort here of the Split Pad Pro is undeniable. It just feels great. It does feel really, really good. And once you get used to that extra pressure you have to put on to move around, you can do some pretty good headshots and stuff. So yeah, so it is something I would actually recommend to buy if you only play handheld. But there is newer versions, I think, of, well, not new, well, there's newer versions of these with different designs, but there's other companies bringing out, let's just say, copies of Split Pad Pros with various features and various drawbacks. Now, there's one I can't remember the name of, but I think the drawback of that one is that you actually have to charge each controller individually with USB, micro USB, I think it wasn't even USB-C controller ports to charge, so it's quite slow. While these, you just have to hook them on. There's no battery at all. As you can see, I'm connected to both this and the Joy-Cons at the same time, which is kind of crazy. Didn't even know I could do that until I did this video, because I never even thought to try. But yeah, as you can see, it's a beautiful design. I love the Pac-Man design. That's the one reason I kind of didn't like the original Split Pad Pro, which was based on another game, and it was red and black, I think. I wasn't feeling it, but this, I love retro games and playing on a retro-inspired system. You can really, that's one thing we love about the Switch, which I think Nintendo really should have done. They should have done a lot more variations of the Joy-Con. They seem to have done colours, but they could have done a lot of patterns or shapes or anything really. And that's why these third-party companies have really kind of come into their own. And here we have the Split Pad Pro by Hori. So, is it a replacement for your Joy-Cons? Well, that's up for you to decide, because it could be a replacement, but it's also not quite a replacement, because it doesn't have gyroscopic treatment, so all your Zelda games with any gyroscopic kind of shrines, pretty much impossible to do without a Joy-Con. As well, the fact that you can't play it on the main TV is a big issue if you're into having the Switch on a big TV. Frankly, though, if you want something like this, you want to play in handheld, just want to have fun, and you just don't care about TV, or you don't have time to put on the TV, then this is for you. It's light, it's very comfortable, There's some great designs out there. There's I think there's an Animal Crossing one now. There's a Pikachu edition, Pac-Man, which obviously I have, and you've got the original Ex Machina or something, Deus Ex, I don't know what it was called, some Machina thing or something to do with robots, and it was a game that didn't sell very well, and it was frankly a weird choice for them to kind of go with that marketing. But for me, unless it's got motion, kind of like aiming, you're not really missing much, really. The right stick is a bit of an issue. The D-pad is a brilliant kind of addition, which kind of offsets that negative. But I think once you play it for a few hours, you'll forget about that niggly little, that little travel you get before you actually get a movement. Definitely. Now, I don't think the left one is affected as much, but to be honest, that's more movement. Aiming's a lot more precise, isn't it? But yes, I think you should probably pick one of these up if you want to play handheld mode and you've got big giant hands. If you're a little kid or someone who has small hands, stick with these. They're far superior. Unless you like playing platform games, then either get one of these modified, so it's got a D-pad, or get yourself one of these beauties. Anyway, that's enough waffling. I shall get going. I hope you've enjoyed my first video back. I know I've been a while, but and I'm probably a bit rusty, but I've enjoyed making this video, and it's a small and sweet beginning, and I can't wait to do more videos and be back. I've got a brilliant Mega Drive 2 video coming soon. Yes, so look forward to that. Anyway, like me and subscribe to me and ring that notification bell and all the other clicks and waffly things you can do to follow me. And I've been absolutely obsolete. It's great to be back, and keep on gaming.